Good morning, Laura. You're after my job, I think.
Sorry.
You pretty much summed it up perfectly.
Just pulled that out of my hair.
Crookie, before we get you all the knowledge on what is happening, how did you enjoy last night, mate?
Oh, I thought it was incredible.
So did I.
I was watching it with a couple of City fans, obviously hoping that they fall short, but I think it's a great result for them. I think they'll win the second leg. I think they'll win the competition now. And I think, you just saw two top quality sides. I thought tactically it was fascinating. Two brilliant goals. I love watching Vinicius. How can you not love watching Kevin De Bruyne? I thought it was everything that a Champions League semi-final should be.
Here, mate.
I also think, because it stayed at 1-0, I'm not saying that there's a Real Madrid wouldn't necessarily be able to turn things around or vice versa, but it just keeps it so perfectly poised for the Etihad, doesn't it? There were loads of different little bits in there that we wanted to focus on, like the little battles, the individual battles. I did love Kyle Walker and Vinicius Jr. having a cuddle and a bit of a laugh at the end. This mutual respect, them saying to each other, wow, well done, good matchup, basically. Quickly, people kind of want to know a bit more about what is going on in the world at the moment with transfers. There are a lot of different things. Messi to Saudi Arabia, for example, Saka. What can you give us on the latest transfer news?
Yeah, I think the Messi one's interesting because obviously yesterday in some quarters it was being reported as a done deal. His dad took to social media to deny that and said that nothing will be decided until the end of the season. I do think Saudi looks his most likely destination. It's a mouth-watering, mind-boggling financial package they put together. I think in a dream world, Barcelona would love him back at the Camp Nou, but they've still got some financial restraints there. So I think it would take an awful lot of moving and shaking in terms of them maybe getting some players off the wage bill for it to happen. So it does look like Messi will follow Ronaldo to Saudi Arabia. Granit Xhaka is an interesting one because I think when you look at this link at first to Bayer Leverkusen, you say, well, that can't happen because, to be fair to Granit Xhaka, I think he's been just about the most improved player in the Premier League this season. He's been so impactful for Arsenal. 7 goals, his best ever scoring season. He's getting assists as well. But he has only got a year left on his contract, and we know that Mikel Arteta is looking at revamping that midfield area. I think there's every chance they go back in for Moises Caicedo at Brighton, having had a couple of bids for him turned down in January. We know that Declan Rice is a big target. So I think if a big money offer did come in for Granit Xhaka, a decent fee for a player in the last year of his contract, I think actually Arsenal would be tempted.
I wouldn't want to lose him, Crookie, because for the reasons that you just said there, but also if they're Champions League next season and they need a little bit more depth in that team, and you've got someone like Granit Xhaka who is like the unofficial captain in so many ways, and I think is a bit of glue with a lot of those youngsters and the new players that are coming in. I really wouldn't want to lose him. I understand if he wanted to have a move and play first team football consistently, and if you're bringing in like a Declan Rice or a Moises Caicedo, that might edge him out a little bit. I understand, and you wouldn't want to kind of stop him from doing that, but I think he's got so much more of his Arsenal career still to live out. I adore him. He's been my favourite player since the whole revival of Granit Xhaka. I just love him, so I'd be gutted to see him leave. Pochettino, we mentioned it, but we didn't actually talk about it. Pochettino to Chelsea, what's the latest there?
Yeah, well, as I say, you summed it up quite well. We know they've been talking for a while. I think it's pretty clear that Pochettino is the man that Chelsea want to bring in. He's verbally accepted the contract. I think it's in the hands of his lawyers now, just looking at the finer details. And just a question of when they announce it, because obviously it's a slightly strange situation. They've got Frank Lampard in interim charge. He knows he'll only be there until the end of the season. That was made quite clear to him that no matter how Chelsea performed under his watch, it wouldn't go beyond the summer. But I think Chelsea want to be respectful for him. Pochettino won't be coming in until the end of the season anyway. But I think already he'll be looking at that squad and working out exactly what they need. I think a new goalkeeper is near the top of his priorities, and certainly a new number 9 as well. But again, like I mentioned for Barcelona, if they're going to really back Pochettino, they've got a lot of players they need to get off the wage bill. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the obvious one, but he's not alone. We know that Thomas Tuchel is keen on a reunion with Kovacic as well. There's even been suggestions that possibly Raheem Sterling could be let go, although I'm told he's very committed to the project and will be excited to play for Pochettino. So I think a really interesting summer in store for Chelsea.
Crookie, on the subject, you mentioned number 9s there across North London, Tottenham. What do we think about Harry Kane? I mean, it is an agreement. It's a kind of now or never decision for Harry if he wants to leave.
I think so. When you look at his age, he's got a year left on his contract. So I think the decision is quite simple in terms of Harry Kane. He either commits to a new long-term deal or he pushes for a move this summer. I think it would be foolhardy for Daniel Levy to keep him for that final year and then let him go on a free transfer. I don't necessarily see that as a potential scenario. He is pretty much top of Manchester United's list. What a difference he would make for Erik Ten Hag, really taking the goal burden off Marcus Rashford, because what we've seen from United this season, if Rashford doesn't score, then not too many other players are chipping in with the goals. But I think it's a difficult deal to do. I think Daniel Levy is very reluctant to sell Harry Kane to what he would perceive a Premier League rival. I think he'd much rather he go abroad. We know that Bayern Munich are interested, but do they have the financial power to make a deal like that happen? And how much is Daniel Levy going to hold out for a player who's only got a year left on his contract? We know last year it was sort of £125 million when Manchester City was sniffing. I don't think they'll get that, but I think he'll still be looking at the £100 million mark for a player who, let's be honest, guarantees you, doesn't he, whatever team he plays in, 30 goals a season.
Yeah. All right, Crookie, thank you very much. Love it. I like how you still got your bunting up from the royal coronation this weekend.
Love it, mate.
Are you gonna?
That's all Mrs. Crook's doing.
Is it really? Are you going to have a Eurovision party?
I hope not.
All right, Alex Crook, thank you so much for coming on. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, keeping us up to date with all the moves that are going on out there behind the scenes.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.